everybody. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. What's next for you? Visit cnext.bank for more. The exclusive banking partner of the Digital Weather Desk. Happy Monday. It is shortly before 8 a.m. Joining you a smidge later than normal. Wife got back from the Bahamas late last night, so I got to hear about the trip. She had a blast. Weather was great for them. And then she immediately comes back to overcast and 40s. And I was like, this is what we dealt with while you were gone. And she was like, no, literally, how was the weather? I was like, no, literally, this is what we dealt with the entire time you were gone. I was like, we did get like 3 hours of sunshine on Saturday. That was kind of cool. And there are some breaks in the clouds today. But as you take a look at the infrared satellite to start the morning off, by the way, this morning's forecast made possible by ServPro, Monroe, West Monroe, faster to any size disaster. Call or click servpro.com. for more. Still contending with some cloud cover. The western counties and parishes are starting to see some clearing to start the day, but as you move from generally, I would say 165 eastward to the Mississippi Valley, there's still quite a bit of cloud cover. And while there are some breaks in those clouds, I would expect them to be on the decrease rather sharply through the rest of the morning. Your radar is made possible by Brown's Roofing. Schedule your free roof inspection at brownsroofingla.com. All the precip stays well to our north, not really a bother for us across the area. But as we go through the next few days, the upper level pattern continues to finalize a pretty dramatic shift that really zaps the rain chances for the foreseeable future. It's a chilly start across the area in many locations this morning, especially where we did see that early morning clearing in the western counties and parishes where we're in the low 40s, 30, even 36 in Camden, 38 in El Dorado, 36 in Texarkana. But the cloud cover is a little bit more persistent as you move farther eastward, and so a lot of those areas from Monroe eastward to the Mississippi Valley are still pretty consistently in the mid-40s to start this morning off. Dew points, again, depend on location, generally range from the upper 30s to the mid-40s. And as we go through the day, the drier air really starts to win over as the sunshine kind of pokes back through, especially for tomorrow and Wednesday. Visibility is, it's a lot better than it was last night. Again, with the rain and the drizzle and all that grossness, we were seeing some visibilities down to 2 and 3 miles, fairly widespread across much of the Mississippi Valley. Jackson's still not ideal. Natchitoches still not ideal, but most locations are faring okay in terms of visibility as you head out and about this morning. Check the Futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports, I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe. Again, holiday season in full swing. ATVs, side-by-sides, dirt bikes, Honda, Yamaha. Go check out the selection there with Mike and the guys, and again, tell them that Jared sent you, and they may ask you to leave. Cloud cover will be on the exit as we go through the rest of the morning hours, and again, by early afternoon, most of us should be under sunny or mostly sunny skies with winds out of the north. High pressure sets in and continues the sunshine through the daytime hours on Tuesday, but winds will swing back around to the south, and they could be a little breezy at times. And when I say a little breezy at times, generally probably 10 to 20 mile an hour range for both Tuesday and Wednesday, ahead of a series of cold fronts that'll move through the region for the second half of the week. Becky, good morning to you, and thanks so much for stopping in. Yes, Barbara, sunshine. I think everybody's excited for it. The clouds start to sneak back in, kind of a brief corridor of cloud cover ahead of the cold front Wednesday morning. That is the first boundary, which really doesn't have a lot of cool air with it. And then more sunshine and more mild temperatures ahead of another cold front that should move in some point on Friday. It doesn't look to bring rainfall, so if you're traveling for state championship football and stuff like that, and good morning to you. If you are traveling for anything this weekend or you have outdoor plans, we will likely trend cooler, but I don't really see a lot in the way of rainfall that we would deal with. Check the water vapor imagery this morning, and again, the upper level pattern has flipped. Instead of seeing those southwesterly winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere funneling subtropical moisture through our region, it is a northwesterly flow aloft, which is not going to accumulate a lot of deep layered moisture ahead of any storm system anytime soon. Matus, good morning to you as well. So as we set the stage for the next several days, really for the next week, again, there's a boundary that'll move through the area on Wednesday. That one just, again, reaffirms the northwesterly flow aloft. And then as we head toward Friday, Saturday, again, there will be a series of boundaries that works their way through. Perhaps some chunks of cooler air get attached to all of that and start to drag southeastward as we go through the second half of this week and through the weekend. But the overall details regarding the depth of the cold air that we will run into this weekend still very much in question. Some computer models suggest we will see highs in the 60s and 70s this weekend. Some suggest that we will be in the 40s this weekend. Again, there's a lot of question, and the ensemble guidance versus the operational guidance still has a lot to be desired in terms of details. To show you just a general idea of what high temperatures do over the next couple of days, by Wednesday afternoon, a lot of us return to the 60s. Thursday afternoon, behind that first boundary, still probably 50s and 60s. Friday's the big question mark because, again, we would be approaching, a cold front would be approaching the area by then. Saturday and Sunday, we will be cooler. How much cooler is the big question mark? Will we be, 50s to near 60 cooler? Will we be 40s to near 50 cooler? Will we be even cooler than that? Again, the depth of cold air masses this time of year can be really tricky, so I don't really want to jump into a lot of specifics. But again, it looks like Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be cooler than the most, the bulk of this work week. And again, probably trending cooler into much of the early parts of next week as well. So that's kind of how things shape up in that regard. I don't know how many pauses I put into this thing. I guess I just stopped on every daytime high to show you that. But once you get beyond that and into next week, again, we'd look at trends, not necessarily specifics. Rainfall forecast over the next 7 days. Not a whole lot going on there, is there? Not optimistic about generating a lot of rainfall. The upper level pattern really just kind of points against it. I think I hear a little toddler knocking on the door to the Floyd family studio, which is adorable. We were approaching the 19, 20-month-old, like, hey, when I want something, I'm going to scream until I get it. Which doesn't work with me. I'm just as iron-willed as the daughter. Oh, man, she's not happy. So let's go ahead and wrap this stream up. Daytime highs today, mid to upper 40s to near 50 degrees. Again, noticeably cooler behind yesterday's cold front. Oh, man, she is ticked off. Maybe I should just extend the stream out a little bit longer so I don't have to deal with that. Overnight lows tonight drop to near the freezing mark. Winds will generally fairly stay light, but they'll be out of the north and northeast. Again, spending some time below the freezing mark, especially across southern Arkansas and along the Mississippi Valley. So plan accordingly if those types of things impact you. But plan for the freezing mark, even if you don't drop to the freezing mark. Checking the clipboard. Yeah, I have it 31, 32, 34 from El Dorado, Monroe to Natchez. Mid-50s for highs on Tuesday. I saw a couple of numbers on there. I was like, is that right? Did I put those in there? Yep, that's right. Sometimes there's a lot of numbers when you build a forecast, and so sometimes you just get kind of crossed up. Daytime highs back in the mid to upper 50s on Tuesday. As we start the warming trend, May, good morning to you. Winds will crank up out of the south and southwest through the day Tuesday, Wednesday. Again, nothing egregious. 10, 15 miles an hour. 7-day forecast is really quiet. There's not a lot of confidence in rain chances. Again, we're going to be swinging some cold fronts through the region, so it's not out of the question for us to run into rainfall, but there's just not enough confidence in any particular rain event to go, okay, we're going to put some rain chances in here. Doesn't make a lot of sense there. So we'll be in the low to mid 60s Wednesday, Thursday. Again, series of boundaries. One Wednesday and then probably one late Thursday, Friday. Starts the cooling trend with colder air arriving this weekend. Again, I put highs in the upper 40s Saturday, Sunday. Not splitting the difference. I do expect us to see some kind of cool down. But how... Good morning, Alice. But how deep that cool down is going into the weekend, it's a shoulder shrug at this point. So obviously that's kind of the focus of the forecast this week. It's nothing dramatic, I don't think. There is the possibility that we could see overnight lows drop back into the 20s. But it's nothing record-setting or anything like that. It's just a big December cold swing. And it does look like the deepest, coldest of that air probably misses us to the north and northeast. So that's how things shape up later this week. But again, rain chances are pretty limited. So this is probably a good week to try to get out and and get some stuff done outside if you got to get the leaves and stuff picked up. I know I need to. So this will be a good week to do all that stuff. Too Long Didn't Read comes out at 9:30 this morning. I'll join you midday for a live stream. Later this afternoon, this evening for a live stream. Like I said, the wife got home last night. She turns around and leaves again in about 2 hours for a work trip. Wouldn't that stink? You get home from one of the most amazing vacations of your life, and then you got to turn around and make a work trip. Nothing jolts you back into reality faster than that. But again, mother-in-law's been a rock star. We call her Mimsy. She's been awesome. Couldn't do it without her. I could, but I would have patches of hair pulled out because toddlers are crazy. Forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app, available for Apple and Android users. Again, I'll join you a little bit later today. Enjoy your Monday. Throw a jacket on as you head out the door. It will be a little bit cooler today than it has been. And the sunshine starting to peek back through. I can even see a little bit of it here in Midtown Monroe. Finally. Thanks so much for stopping by the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. As always, so glad you're here. Thanks for making me at least a small part of your day. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I'll check in with you in a little bit.